The Dolly Parton eclipse ritual sacrifice. Dolly Parton, breaking news, has just passed away. As we have entered the celebrity sacrifice season of the eclipse energy, starting on August 12th, where we saw the very, very famous star, Hayden, from the show Heroes, which shows the eclipse. Who killed the cheerleader? The coming destruction of this planet might be happening. Are the occult, the power brokers controlling the Cosmo, computational Cosmos, simulacrum, predicting stuff, doing ritual sacrifices? We're going to get into this breaking news as Dolly Parton, tons of Illuminati symbolism throughout her career, lots of strange connection, even on this date. Aaliyah passed away in the tragic plane crash. We see these ritualistic celebrity sacrifices, whether that be at the Grammys of Kobe Bryant before the lockdown, as we are entering a south node into Jupiter, which is connected to the 2020 lockdowns and Kobe Bryant crashing into airplane. Even when it comes to the freaking big celebrity who crashed in the airplane most recently. Now, as you're entering the room, we already got over 226 people, my favorite number. Please smash that like button. This is going to be a major broadcast show, as we've seen on the Jamie Hanshaw podcast. Make sure to go watch that. As we were covering the celebrity sacrifice season, and if you have been tuning in, you know we've been saying that there was going to be another big celebrity sacrifice after Hayden for the eclipse coming up on the 27th. Now, there's a 3-day ritualistic window when it comes to celebrity sacrifices, and this has been documented, a pattern recognition that we're seeing. When 2023 was around 4 years ago on New Year's, Dolly Parton was performing underneath a royal arch with Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus is someone to be looking out for, connected to these rituals. And when that happened in Memphis, as this is connected to the moon cycles and Memphis, and we got Project Chaney on here that's going to break that down for us. Gangsta Boo passed away. Gangsta Boo is huge. This is connected to the 3-6 Mafia. So here's just some images and videos of how we've predicted this, right? So anybody who's new to the channel, who doesn't know about this, this just shows that this was Illuminati celebrities ritual for the eclipse sacrifices and the birthing of the new moon child. This is just one of them that we posted August 6th. This is before Hayden and before Dolly Parton. Here's the CERN sacrifice that goes down with Liam Payne and all this. And you see this 96, this Cancer symbolism. This is absolutely important as well because it's the top of the royal arch of summertime. Summertime is going to be ending, which is also highly connected to the lunar calendar. We'll get into that here as well shortly. But we got this famous lady connected to the moon. We got Matt Perry connected to the moon. We got Whitney Houston, Grammys connected to the moon, the CERN sacrifice, the eclipse, even these big rituals that go down on the world stage where the whole world goes through a ritual. So there's a lot of this stuff, and it is connected to cyber events as well. Maybe we'll cover that a little bit too in this broadcast. But please, please, please smash that like button as you enter the show. This is Totalitarian Taco Tuesdays at 2. Let's get right into it.
It's Totalitarian Tiptoe Tuesdays at 2.
Joining us today is Paranoid American and Project Chaney. How are you two doing today?
Hey, welcome. Big up yourself, Chaney.
Big ups, big ups.
Big up, big up. It's a stick up, and I'm shooting all y'all quick, if they hiccup, look, make me put my clip up and that back at headpiece, and I'm gonna do these down the name.
I remember that.
That's Biggie. Biggie, can't you see? Sometimes the words just hit me. You know, Puff Daddy, here's something, Project Chaney. Are you a fan of TLC? Because didn't Left Eye get sacrificed too?
Left Eye, because Eye is right. Yeah, she is the sacrifice from Big Boy Records. Or when you look at Death Row, she was one of the big artists after this all splits. And who's that big guy that took over Death Row Records with Tupac and Snoop? He was like the bodyguard guy. Suge Knight. Yeah, like some people theorize that she is the first sacrifice of Suge Knight. Because he ends up, she was a big writer for TLC, maybe wrote most of their songs.
Yeah, well, so interesting enough, Puff Daddy's on a hidden track on her Sexy Interlude where she's on the toilet and she asked Puff Daddy to wipe her butt for her, in a sense. It's pretty nuts.
She has fire ritual around her too, because I think she lights her man's house on fire. Andre Rison, I think that was her boyfriend at the time. He was a Atlanta Falcon.
Oh,
do you think she ever lit his fart on fire?
Yeah, maybe she just lit his fart on fire and his whole house lit on fire.
You got to be careful with that because farts are highly flammable. And this is absolute science. But you see how Dolly Parton, her new album, she also has her left eye covered, just sort of like Left Eye Lopez.
Well, you even brought up Matthew Perry, and it jarred me that to sing a Whitney Houston song, what is the magical interlude of that makes you end up dead in a bathtub? Because Whitney Houston sings I Will Always Love You. Easily, Dolly Parton will make hands over fist more money to her whole nest egg from that song being the writer than Whitney will ever be as the singer. And then it makes me wonder what other songs like Jolene, where you have Miley Cyrus singing that song, or other celebrities, like for the High Witch to give out her song to one of these lower entity level girls. Like, does Britney have to sacrifice her firstborn to sing a Dolly Parton song? And you kind of get this firstborn over and over again, this Rose Marie. It's Rose Mary is Virgin Mary. So you get it over and over again with the Hollywood celebrity giving up their firstborn. And just because of the Matthew Perry dying in water like he did is so similar to Whitney Houston. I would say her most famous song is Dolly Parton's song.
Wow, Jolie, but please don't
Jolene.
take the man. Jolene, please don't take the man. Jolene. I love
and
it.
I saw something that the Redheaded Libertarian put, which I didn't know until I was today years old, that Dolly would say that Jolene was the song like to the redheaded slut. Like it was a redheaded minx song. So you get that like Mary Magdalene, that she's a redhead, or a lot of the redhead, even where people say you can't draw a picture of Mohammed because he might be a redhead. I just think it's curious that
the redhead, it goes into, you're right, it goes into Scotia, the princess, where the ancient Egyptian princess, where we get the name Scotland from. And so then the bloodlines of the royals going all the way back to the pharaohs with the red hair is huge. And even in the Beggar's Benison, they would take the red hair of King George's mistress, pubic region, and make an entire wig out of it in a sense. And everybody would donate the red hair of their mistresses in that ritualistic cult.
Well, if this one ever comes up on Double Jeopardy, here's another fun one about redheads, is that they used to forge the swords in the urine of redheaded boys because they were supposed to be some sort of like metaphysical quality to it, that if you forged it in that, then all of a sudden you would never be able to, have your sword not just break, but it wouldn't like miss the target.
You know how you also say, Thomas, that like if we were sacrificing our kids, then the rarer our kid would be, the higher the sacrifice. So having like a healthy virgin boy would have been the highest sacrifice back when, because boys die, even though more of them are born, they die quicker, as the years go by.
I'm
It
saying that all the
wonder-
time. Like people, I won't stop saying that wherever I go.
All
People
the
are like,
time.
stop saying it.
This is the craziest part. If you have a conversation with me, I remember it like you're saying it all the time. You're like, I said that to you once in an interview about Tenet.
Well, you
But-
got. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, like, the redhead would be such a rarity that a redhead green-eyed would even be more rare, that would be a higher sacrifice to
Yeah,
the
it's like
god.
sacrificing your holographic, like Charizard or something. First edition.
So everybody, please click the link below and go subscribe to Project Chaney. Paranoid American, Project Chaney do a show every Friday night where they dive deep into this. And one of your last episodes was about the wig and the hair, right? That looks sort of like Dolly Parton. And President Trump was tweeting about the big hair. Do you think there's a connection to this?
I do think it's kind of crazy that Donald Trump truthed out that we're going to put the flags at half-mast for Dolly, which isn't an everyday thing that happens to our pop stars in America. We get our political figures get half-mast, but did Michael Jackson get half-mast? Like, is Dolly bigger than Michael?
I don't think Michael was able to get half-mast anymore at that point. But speaking of that, Dolly Parton did kind of represent this like perpetual maiden virgin character, or at the very least like a Venus, like the OG Venus figurine. That was sort of a like middle America version of that ancient Venus archetype. So I think that with her leaving, that it's literally leaving a gap for someone else to essentially fill.
And I'm pulling up some of this B-roll right here because of the connection to Memphis, which I really, really want to get into. And we'll go to these clips here shortly, that she's a big star connected to Nashville. Now, this is connected to the lady who just did pass away on the Eclipse Ritual of Heroes, which I'm very interested to hear about. But one thing I wanted to show with the connections to Memphis being the actual Egypt, or at least as above, so below. Here is Gangsta Boo out of Memphis, and her symbol is the 6'9", both worlds 6'9". She passed away. Right here's the summer solstice at the very top for Cancer. It was the 6'9" symbol, which I accidentally in my last podcast connecting the Da Vinci Code, Dan Brown, I thought it was Pisces. It's actually Cancer. So Saturn right here is in Cancer, and the moon is in Leo. I mean, the sun is in Leo. So I wanted to correct my mistake there. But Gangsta Boo, where them dollars at? Gangsta Boo passed away while Miley Cyrus and Dolly Parton is performing underneath this royal arch during the New Year's. And this is when Gangsta Boo passed away. Gangsta Boo's huge. So a lot of people don't know who she is, but in the hip hop world, I mean, absolutely huge and directly connected to Memphis, Tennessee, Tennessee. I've been looking at these Tennessee rituals, looking at Young Buck, and I got that prediction wrong with 50 Cent, but that could maybe happen in the future.
We're still hoping out here.
Here is Miley Cyrus and her for that. But yeah, I just want to add that on top of it.
Do you think in the United States, if you were to take that exact arch, doesn't it seem like Memphis, Nashville is the keystone of our country a little bit? Like, don't they seem like the Cancer? Like, if you were to take the arch and lay it over our country, don't they seem like the center?
Well, it's like the keystone to the recording industry, you know, the one that has had the most longevity, I think.
Okay, that's interesting. So you're talking about looking at a map, putting a freaking keystone kind of like over it, that would be the keystone in a sense.
Yeah, if California is one side and then the Carolinas or New York, Florida are the other side, the center seems like it would almost be right there.
And so here's the interesting
Now
video.
looking at the United States, I'm like, that's not true at all.
Well, no, because maps are manipulated. Maps aren't actually showing the land regions. Maps are absolutely kind of like manipulated to make things look
This
bigger
is
and
only
smaller.
if you believe in the projection upon a sphere, but if you don't believe that the Earth has a shape at all, then this doesn't really matter.
The Earth has been proven to be a toroidal donut field.
Yeah, I didn't even want to
Tim
get pinned
Pool
down to a
confirmed
certain
it.
shape.
Sorry, what?
I don't feel comfortable being pinned down to any specific shape.
I feel that. You got to keep the horizons open, and that's how science works. Like, people get locked down in a way of thinking that's rigid, and to break that rigid thinking, you got to not only unlock the secrets, but go beyond the secrets, and that's what we be doing here. We be going beyond the secrets. And I'll play a clip real quick just to show the connections. This was made years ago, so there might be some weird information in it, but we'll see. But this is connected to the Memphis occult rituals, and please chime in anytime and I'll pause it.
Is Memphis, Tennessee the new Egypt? Is the Mississippi River the Nile River? Here's Egypt, and there's a city of Memphis that is on the Nile River. Memphis in America, very, very similar to Egypt. Yo, what up? It's DoeNut, and you tuning into all your Illuminati news. The Memphis basketball team are all doing the Illuminati shush.
So right there, I mean, I'm just showing some of the Memphis connections with the Bass Pro Shop and all that. Feel free to chime in anywhere, but right here, obviously Las Vegas on this parallel. The ley line is, I believe, the 36th parallel.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame might be on a similar parallel. I think it's another glass pyramid.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Let me pull that up. But yeah, so what do you have on this right now with the Eclipse, Nashville, Tennessee, Elvis, the Lady Hayden Panettiere from Eclipse show, Heroes? There's a connection there, yeah?
Nashville, Hayden Panettiere was with Connie Britton. She was one of the stars of that show. They have like an album that comes out that's probably like a top 10 album. She probably has a couple top 10 songs that get released out of that she's the singer of. Like, I have a couple of the songs from that on playlists, like on my little country playlist. So it's so crazy that TV show kind of the same thing, like they had all those Glee type shows where they were singing pop music. Nashville did that for country music and like bringing it into this where the celebrities sing too, where it just like gets mishmashed. Yeah, I definitely think it has something to do with Dolly Parton. Nashville has all the symbolism. Memphis has all the symbolism. You got a king in Memphis, that's
Did
where
you watch the Nashville show?
I watched a few seasons of Nashville.
Does that have like occult ties and like occult breakdowns that you could do?
I feel like I didn't even have my occult telescope on yet when I watched Nashville.
Like a guilty pleasure thing, like just
yeah, it
really
was
for the
just like
love of the game.
Yeah, like just Hollywood, who they're hooking up with, kind of thing. When I just inquire Star Magazine stuff, but it's a decent drama as far as I guess TV dramas go. But you have Elvis Presley in Memphis, so that king representation of Dolly getting a monarch Dollywood is there, and then everything in Nashville, all their symbolism is kind of kin like to Memphis, where you get all these pyramids and Egyptian statues and things like that.
Mm-hmm. You're right. And so she had this foundation called Dollywood, and this is in Nashville, probably.
And there was one in Orlando too.
Was there?
There was, yeah. It was right on I-4.
So this Dollywood land does have the Monarch Mind Control butterfly.
I think it's in Memphis, Dollywood.
Well, there was Dollywood in Memphis is the main one, but then they made like a branch that was right across from Universal Studios and SeaWorld. Like, she had a theme park for a minute. I mean, I think it shut down like maybe 10
No, I
years
believe
ago.
you. I was just because DoeNut said Nashville, and I was like, I think Dollywood was in Memphis, not Nashville, like the original. But I believe that there was one in Orlando too.
Right. So this is breaking news, and one of the biggest Dollywood Foundation, people is Jeff Bezos, right? Jeff Bezos made it possible with his $100 million tax loophole investments. This is why all these billionaires get divorced, by the way, like Dr. Dre or Bill and Melinda, who have these foundations, because there's tax loopholes around it. I mean, why wouldn't they do that? Now, one of the big theories is that that she's a man.
Well, I don't know if I got to that one yet. I'm sure that's one of them. There's a theory that everybody is an inversion of the other thing, but I was just trying to find the top 10 Dolly Parton conspiracy theories, and there's not like a top 10, there's like a top 50, and just one at random that I was like, what? And like, I don't know if Chaney's ever heard this one, but the Dolly Parton is covered head to toe in body tats, and that's why she's always wearing long sleeve, long legs, like skin colored bodysuits. That's part of the reason, is because she's completely tattooed. Now, obviously, she's been asked about this and laughed it off. Yeah, she's a Yakuza assassin, essentially.
No, but I have heard that she wears a latex bodysuit all the time. Like her entire body is latex because she's covered in tattoos. And I've heard that she's a dude. And I would like to make one up right now, that she is the mother of Courtney Love. And Courtney Love tried to tell us in her song Doll Parts, because Dolly Parts on, like, she is letting us know about cloning. Doll Parts, like Dolly the sheep was the first clone. So I feel like something, I can't put my autistic, like, full together on this yet, but somewhere with Barbie, Hole, Dolly Parton, it all feels like a Dolly sheep cloning ritual.
Well, not the mother, probably like the original clone or one of the clone donors, right?
Yeah, like if they have, like if Dolly is just an original clone of some ancient deity, then they are like a copy of a copy of a copy.
The other thing Dolly was known for was the quote unquote twins, right? So that would make sense that she's sort of this hub for cloning.
Yeah, so Dolly the sheep is Dolly, and I even think that it sounds sort of like Dolly. What's her name? Dolly. I already forgot her name.
Pardon?
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton. Yeah, sounds like pardon. Like, I'm gonna pardon you, like a president would pardon someone as well. So.
Oh yeah, totally.
This is very interesting with the dolls. The Beatles had that band album cover where they had the doll parts as well. The Dolly Parton doll parts. That's so interesting. Something that was going viral in my algorithm has been this run-in of, oh, look, it's called The Void, like Stranger Things, The Void. This run-in with Madonna and Courtney Love. They had a beef for a while. Did you know about their beef?
P91 MTV Music Awards, maybe?
Yeah.
That is so, like, I wish my brain remembered valuable stuff.
Yeah, well, that's why we got these symbols and stuff to relook at this stuff, because this is breaking. So we're going to say something, my bad.
No.
This is breaking right now, so please put your comments down below. We'll look through the comments, and as this is breaking, we'll also go online to see what other people have been uncovering, because this is a brand new breaking ritual for the eclipse that's coming up, and there's a 3-day window of sacrifice with these full moons, with these eclipse. Even young Dolph was a big one. Before she passed away, she said that she was this deity, Azrael. I have a clip of it where she says that she's Azrael, which is the sacrificial scapegoat for Yom Kippur, which is coming up, a high holiday. for the end of summer because the Hebrew calendar is connected to the lunar cycles. Now, a lot of people have also been showing, which I wanted to bring up, that in Latin Agrippa cipher, in Gematria, which people call it Jewish Gematria, but that makes no sense because Jewish isn't a language. It's called Hebrew. So online it will say Hebrew cipher, but really it's not a Hebrew cipher. It's actually an Agrippa cipher, which he created. And in the Agrippa cipher, which online calls it a Jewish cipher, it says that her name, Dolly Parton, equals 825. And she freaking dies on 825. Let me show you this. This is pretty nuts. Right here is the 825 on Occult Decode, the best place to get your Gematria calculator going on there. Let me see where okay. Here, maybe, okay, so this is the 3 books of occult philosophy where Cornelius Agrippa came up with this cipher. This is another crazy thing. If you look up Dolly Parton dead, because this is the main headline on the Drudge Report all over the place, Dolly Parton dead, right? In Gematria, that equals September 11th in the full cipher. So September 11, not September 11th, September 11th, and Dolly Parton dead is straight connected. And with this node going into Jupiter in November, around November 11th, which is 9/11 in a sense, this is the same astrological energy of the lockdown. So I think big shakeups are happening for that. But right now, I mean, that's future forecasting. Today, we're talking about Dolly Parton. Now, I'm going to pull up some of these images because I don't have them pulled up right now. So please, if y'all can hold it down while I pull this up.
Do you think that Dolly Parton is the walk-in to the transhumanist agenda? Like, do you think she's the first to popularize plastic surgery before even Pam Anderson?
Not the first, but what she did was that she became like a hyperbolic version of it. So anything short of what, she had, or anything short of something comically huge, was then seen as like a standard. It was almost like she helped define the end of the spectrum. So now you could come in just short of that, and that kind of pushed the bar forward for everybody. So yeah, like she was a catalyst for sure. Like I think unquestionably.
She was also another atomic blonde. Like we always get the blonde. I always say Marilyn Monroe starts it, but we always get the blonde pop star. And, we big up Britney all the time that she's one of them. Lady Gaga. You could even say Courtney Love's a weak version. Definitely Madonna. But Dolly, she might be the only, in American zeitgeist, she might be the only other female that you could say could hold yoke with Madonna. As far as being like, because Madonna, I would even say she blows Marilyn out of the water as far as, how big she became worldwide. And I think Dolly did that too. Like there's a couple of performers that don't get enough credit for being other MJs. And Dolly, like Bob Marley or somebody of this ilk, is definitely somebody that you're like, dang, Dolly was everywhere. Like the 70s and 80s, Dolly owned that shit.
Does that mean Madonna's the reigning queen?
I mean,
like
she
unquestionably.
Madonna. I think Madonna's it.
So there's no other rival, because you just mentioned like Dolly Parton makes sense because that's another career long, right? She's 80 when she passed. But is there anyone that even comes close to Madonna now that Dolly Parton's no longer in the running?
No, maybe Taylor. They're trying with Taylor Swift, but
yeah.
Like what a perfect first spot to pull up that with Taylor, his firstborn, and her Rosemary.
So if anything, that would be like a global plot to drive everyone back towards androgyny, as opposed to like the polar opposite, which is Dolly Parton, right?
More female, but she is the drag queen.
This is a tweet by Minnie's Rabbit Hole sharing perfect, segment into the Taylor Swift thing. Shortly before the death of Dolly Parton, she made a video to Taylor Swift asking for her firstborn child, saying, the mission of the Dollywood Foundation. I'm going to go to that clip real quick.
When you had the firstborn, can I have it? Because
When you had I'm going to translate. When you have the firstborn, I have it. I'm doing this so I don't get a copyright thing.
that is going to be one special baby.
That's going to be one special baby.
She's like drooling over it. She can't wait to get a little bite.
She can't wait.
Yum, 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 yum.
Half my mouth already closed on that.
That's that baby Biden. So here is, shout out to Snoop Von Pooh. I'll be going on his podcast here pretty soon, but today is 8:25, and he was showing in this cipher, Dolly Parton equals 825. So I that's very interesting. And so did Vibe Lindbergh. So shout out to Vibe Lindbergh as well. Shows that in the cipher it equals 825. And they keep saying Hebrew gematria, which I thought was interesting, which always annoyed me because it's a Jewish gematria, and I'm like, it's not. How is that Jewish? It's Hebrew. And I looked more into it, utilizing the AI with Grok, and that is pretty weird, right? But this was also a huge find that system is built via Latin, in a sense, straight from Cornelius Agrippa. Agrippa created it because Hebrew and Greek letters already had numerical values, and he thought the Roman alphabet should have one too. The values roughly follow the same scale pattern as Hebrew, units, tens, hundreds. It sounds more mystical calling it that than the Agrippa English cipher or Latin gematria. I think this was interesting. Did you know anything about this stuff?
I knew about this one because this was one of the more requested ones on Occult Decode, and I guess because there's so many ciphers. There could be infinite ciphers. For example, something called the keypad cipher. So if you look at like a telephone, like your cell phone, and the way those numbers are laid out, that's another version of a cipher where everything goes from 1 to 9, or some even count at 0. So the Agrippa cipher and every other cipher that you can think of, the most common ones are ordinal, where everything goes in order: A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3. All they are is just showing you mathematical relationships between letters. So whenever you find these recurring patterns, you're just showing that more proof of the fractal nature of the universe and that multiple things are related.
Yeah. Wow. So
Also, 8 plus 25 is a 33. I was just wondering if 7 plus 26, did we get a sacrifice on that day, and will we get one on 9 plus 24? Or
oh wow, okay.
Will we do that? Does this happen where they're trying to add up these dates to 33, or is this just us getting completely demi more?
Let me look it up. July 26th death, because you're saying that 7 and 26, you plus that together, it equals 33.
Yeah.
Just like Ariana Grande. Ariana is the land of the Aryans, and Grande is a Frappuccino. It's large Frappuccino for the Aryans.
Tall whites. That's what Ariana Grande means.
By the Brotherhood, we need to stop talking about that number immediately.
Okay, so we'll just add this on and then we'll move on. Joey Jordison died, the drummer of Slipknot. And Slipknot has a song about murdering by numbers, in a sense. So they have a song called Gematria, I think. So that's kind of interesting. So that's something I'll look into. That's a great connection. But let's move on.
Moving right along.
So the 36 parallel is also an interesting thing to look into. I haven't looked into it in a while. But all these rituals that go along the 36 parallel, the ley line, I was covering for a while because of its connections to Vegas, Elvis, and this pyramid in Memphis. let's see what I wrote. The UNLV is on the 36th parallel. The connection between the Vegas Luxor pyramid, where Tupac was staying at during his assassination attempt, or not attempt, as his assassination. The Luxor pyramid and the Memphis pyramid happening in America on this ley line. Miley Cyrus is from the 36th parallel. Open up the New Year's event the same day the passing of Gangsta Boo from 3-6 Mafia. So the 36th parallel, 3-6 Mafia. Bob Lee, owner of Cash App, he died at the same age as Gangsta Boo, 43. And he's from the 36th parallel. This 43 is huge because the 322 day of the year, the day the Illuminati founder Alvin Weishaupt died on November 18th, Disney's Mickey Mouse's birthday, leaves 43 days until the end of the year. So this 43 is huge. So there was a Nashville event out of school at the address 33 on 36th parallel. Lisa Marie Presley is from the 36th parallel, died that year. These are the ley line or energetic connect to the stars. So, I mean, there's something there as well.
Well, of course there's something there. And since we're all like on the music theme, if you know writing music and like writing lyrics, but there's something called a call and response as like one of the formulas of music. And that's the way that I also see this Memphis pyramid sort of thing where, yeah, we've created these pyramids in the US, in Memphis and other places that mimic the exact placement as they are in Egypt. But I also feel that maybe Egypt's pyramid was just a call response to one that was in North America originally. You know what I mean? Like they didn't have the original one. Theirs was just an homage to the ones that we had that predate even Egypt's pyramids. And that maybe the ones that we have were a response to like older ones that Egypt had or somewhere else in that region, right? So even the pyramid structure itself has always been a call and response back and forth.
They even say everything on the side of the pyramids, the ibis, the Anubis, the corn, everything on the pyramids is something native to America. It's none of it's native to Africa or Egypt. It's all things native to mostly Florida, but we'll just let
in Florida, we have a saying, we were kings.
We were kangs.
Kangs. So I got to pull up this.
We was Knowles.
Somebody in the comments section pointed something crazy out. I was talking about Bob Lee, the Cash App founder, who was murdered, I believe, in room 201. He was known for building a big system, kind of like the digital currency system in a sense. That freaking Dolly Parton's dad's also name is Bob Lee. That's a weird connection there. Robert Lee Parton.
Oh,
sounds like Parton.
Yeah.
And that is weird. Good, but Bob Lee, this Cash App guy, this was a strange stabbing sacrifice. He was in this room 201, or he was next to the so there was this big 201 connection there, like you have an event 201 which locked down the world. And here's Cash App. Cash App founder Bob Lee was part of an underground sexy party and drug use called the Lifestyle. So I mean, there was a lot of strange stuff going on. Is Burning Man happening right now?
Which is another version of this like this fractal story being told over and over.
Oh man. So Burning Man,
that's another sacrifice of the perpetual maiden, essentially. That's the hex version of cremation to care ritual.
So it is going down in 5 days from now, right? So the Burning Man project, I don't know if I'm allowed to show that video footage, is about to go down. So it could be highly connected to this.
And it also happens inside of Burning Men Nora. Burning Man is like Congress. It's another one of that shape that's set up again to actually burn the effigy at the top.
And if you've been paying attention to the last few years of Burning Man, they had a huge like Nile level flood, right?
Yes.
That completely transformed everything, changed everybody's plans for that entire year. So I always see like the whole point of Burning Man being in the desert, but the desert sometimes floods entirely, and it changes those people's entire like economic outlook for the next year. It's not that much different than like the original creation stories and the Nile flooding.
Yes. And
Yeah.
so,
Go on.
no, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I agree with Thomas. I think the finality of the Burning Man ritual will be a flood in the desert. They plan on it. It will be under specific stars, and it's not in a dry lake bed for a reason. And if you actually see how they set up Black Rock City, they put like all the lower than thou in the bottom of the lake bed, and then all the elite are on the far right side, and that's the highland. So they'll be able to watch everybody get.
It's
flooded.
like the horseshoe during Katrina, right? There was like this horseshoe of everyone on the ring that had like slightly nicer homes that was able to live at a higher elevation.
And here's some footage of that I documented, and I said this was a simulation. And this happened right before October 7th in Israel, where at a rave event, that tragic event happened. And this could have been sort of connected somehow to that, because the tech elite, they wrote about this in their documents, in their books they were releasing with Google. Google goes there. People that are like on the top level networking release books on this, and how they would take mind-altering substances, partaking in rituals to elect the next people to run the corporation, which is straight connected to DARPA in a lot of ways, because you get Eric Schmidt elected via the people that are at Burning Man doing the sacrifice of an effigy during the summer solstice rituals, probably ending the summer, because I guess it was for springtime originally, but they changed it to summer. And that's how they elected Eric Schmidt to run Google. And now he runs DARPA, or he did. I don't know. I haven't kept up with it. But there's a lot of strange stuff going on. But that flooding thing is seems to be even more ancient, as you're saying.
I had another question for Chaney, not to put you on the spot, but you're always talking about follow the wives. And I don't know if you know this theory that Dolly Parton was either going to marry, or was in all other words except for like an official marriage, was a partner with this lady, Judy Ogle, that she had like, it was her personal assistant, her like live-in friend, like lifelong. And there had been speculation for decades that she was going to like actually marry her in public at some point, and was trying to get permission, and it just, I guess, never went through. But this is a a conspiracy theory or a rumor that dates back into the 1980s, I think, and like it started getting mainstream in like the early 1990s. But I feel like Judy Ogle has all the real deets on Dolly Parton.
I've never heard it, but it's just when you're saying it, Whitney Houston has the exact same thing about her personal assistant, that they were always really in love, and that she married Bobby Brown for a big publicity stunt because she had to go through and play this part of the pop star, but really she was just a big old lesbian.
That's exactly the theory here, is that Dolly Parton was a big old lesbian, and she was married to Carl Dean as her beard, essentially, or like a reverse beard. I don't know how the terminology works.
Oh my gosh, and it's a redhead. Come to find out, Jolene is just about her lover.
Jolene,
I mean, this feels like it has legs to it. This isn't just some random speculation.
No, same as the Whitney thing. Exact same as the Whitney. Like, they're everywhere together. And I even think the last Whitney movie that they did, they kind of alluded to it in the movie, that they were like hooking up.
They were doing it. Jolene,
Judy
Jolene.
Ogle.
Did you think about Ogle? Because I said Google, and it sounds like Google.
I did, yeah. And I remember that there was something like Google or Oogle related, because and then for no good reason, but I remembered it because I remembered that she had some lover that liked to Oogle her, and that made sense because it was Dolly Parton.
Oogly moogly.
Dolly did seem like smart with a lot of like quippy little sentences that just might change your life. Like she'd be like, well, DoeNut, you know, Daddy always said the devil owns the fence. Because you'd be like, I don't know, I'm on the fence about it. Like, she's one of the ones with all those old Southern sayings that, like, you're like, oh, Like she just seems smart in interviews.
She didn't sound too smart in this one right here.
Because that is going to be one special baby.
There was a lot of debate in the last like 2 years
That was perfectly timed.
if she was a good witch or a bad witch, because I guess she pissed off MAGA at some point, and there was a whole bunch of kind of MAGA / QAnon adjacent articles that were calling her out for being a witch, and that was where like the Illuminati eye symbol and all this came out. But then there was an alternate theory that started floating around that like, yeah, she's a witch, but she's a white witch. She's doing white magic on behalf of America, and then she's protecting us with her magic.
So we're coming up on this eclipse on the 27th, which is in 2 days. 2 days from now, it's a blood moon. And young Dolph, I believe, was assassinated on the blood moon after releasing Illuminati Paper Out, the album. And this is also connected to Evelyn de Rothschild as well, who was also sacrificed on the eclipse or a blood moon, where he was the guy who was in control of The Economist magazine. Now, I wonder what's going on with The Economist magazine. I'm going to look that up real quick because they show the eclipse all the time in The Economist magazine, whether that is the president's face being an eclipse, as he was born on an eclipse, or in a blood moon, and straight connected to the Moonchild stuff. So, I mean, this stuff gets deep, and I'm going to have to go through the comments because we got almost 1,000 people up in here right now. I'd like to remind everybody to please smash that like button. Put your comments down below. What have you found so we can add it to this information? Because this is a breaking story of Dolly Parton eclipse ritual breaking with Project Chaney. Got her links down below. Make sure to go subscribe. And Paranoid American, make sure to go subscribe and subscribe to the newsletter, please, as well. But this eclipse is coming up on the 27th. So we got the one on the 12th in Spain. During that big ritual was showing nothing but eclipse symbolism. So anybody who's new here, please hit that subscribe button. But the people in the chat to verify that we've been saying that these celebrity rituals are going to happen all month long. We even did a podcast with the great Jamie Hanshaw, who wrote books on this ritualistic Hollywood Babylon sacrifice that Kenneth Anger even documented in his books. Going into the satanic element, I got a satanic connection to stuff going on now, which I could go into right now. What are your thoughts right now before I do that?
Let's get into Satan.
Okay.
I'm thinking look out for September 5th because 9/5 is a big Dolly Parton thing. So we're going to have 9 to 5, 9/5 there. So we're going to, this is part of the symbolism and also she donated her money and was one of the poster children of COVID-19 vaccines for Moderna. So that's like a big thing with where we're at is.
I interrupted. I got excited because I'm looking into the 9/5 date as well. Can you start over, please, and go over this 9/5 thing again? Because that's wild. I didn't even know if I should pull it up.
So like I would say like of the things that Dolly Parton's most famous for, 9 to 5, and it's like with them pushing ladies burnt their bras now, we got to get them in the office, and this is like the first even stages of Me Too is the 9 to 5 movie. So you have her and Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda, and they're all in. This is like this #1 song that comes off the soundtrack, but it's all working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living!
Oh, yeah. Can I point that out that it might not just be 9/5, it might be 9/25.
Oh, it could be 9/25.
It could be September 5th, or it could be September 25th, because that would be 9/25. That
is a great. I like your thinking.
Yeah, please and please continue some more. So I'm looking at this date as well, 9 to 5. This is when a terror attack happened during the Olympics. On 9/5, they made a film 9/5 and stuff. So I've been looking into this date, and that's crazy.
And like you were saying earlier, I always think Sept being like when we're 7-11 sept. I always go back to like Ethiopian calendar, but Nov actually being the 9 for their 9/11 is pretty heady. Like, so 11, if you were to say 11/5, Nov 5, isn't that election day?
We're talking November now, like the
Nov.
original ninth
Yeah,
month.
9th month. Yeah. So if you were to say 9, Nov, like we say sept, 7. So people always 9/11, but they'll mix, they'll use 7 to do that. But like you were saying earlier with the 9 of it all being also a November, a Nov. So 9/5 could be 11/5. And that would be election day for America.
Okay. Yeah.
Or this cycle too. It's a big deal for the state elections.
I'm going to look into some of the stuff of what I found with the 9 to 5, and maybe it has something to do with the economy too. Some kind of economic type ritual going on.
Well, didn't we just pass 40 trillion in national debt this week?
Yeah, there's like so much, and Bitcoin has done a big pump. Let me see. I'm just going through my slides to see if I have any of the 9 to 5 stuff pulled up. So give me a moment to see if I could find anything on it. Maybe I
Pour myself a cup of ambition. I wish I knew more words to that song and I'd sing right now. Nimrod wants me to sing 9 to 5, but I don't know more words to it.
Yeah, no, that's strange because that's a date I've been connecting to. I just don't know where the slides are. I'm looking, see if I can find anything.
Do you think that Dolly Parton was legitimately in the music Illuminati?
Yes, I think so. She's Jolie.
So he wanted to become like a hit artist, that at some point she'd be the one in the big cloak that you'd have to go and make a sacrifice to.
She's easily the Betty White of music.
Oh man, I don't know where I had the slides, but wow, that's some wild stuff. I'll go to some of the video clips that I got pulled up. Here's one with the Taylor Swift as we're coming up onto the high holidays, and she's talking about the sacrificial scapegoats here in this video clip.
Oh, is this it with us? Ready to do the goddess down. Oh, to do the goddess down.
Yeah, so I don't know if you know anything about this, but I was looking into it a little bit. And where the heck did I put it? Maybe
So that was her saying what, the god Azael?
Mm-hmm. Man, I don't know where I put it either. Oh.
This would be a real far one, a reach in my autism, but this is the way. Jolene also gives me a Jolie thing. And so I'm like, is Angelina Jolie's just been in the news because all her kids have to come out and make some public statement when they change their name from Pitt to Jolie. So we all have to hear like the shaming of the father that seems to also happen through it. But one has nothing to do with the other. I'm just filling time in my autism.
Yeah, no, you're good. So this, what she was saying to the goddess Azazel, I mean.
Azazel, yeah.
Azazel is translated as the scapegoat in the biblical book of Leviticus.
Do you also think there's something with Dolly's hair and Trump's hair? Remember how last week we went through this Trump hair ritual where everyone was doing like Trump with big hair?
Mm-hmm, right. What do you think what it is?
Because I don't know. There seems...
Well, they're both like the emperor's new clothes. Both of them are, right? Like nobody says anything about Donald Trump's hair yet. Everyone makes fun. Like everyone knows that it's just a crazy comb over, and that it's probably it looks like a barren wasteland under there with like something that he's been growing since he was 14, and he just keeps combing it over. And I think the same thing that a lot of people realize that Dolly Parton was wearing a full-on bodysuit, but it was just one of those things that you don't mention to this like god celebrity status people, because their vanity is sort of like one of their main points, right? Like, so like we were talking about on a few other ones, that celebrity just means fame without honor, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something there. Don't know what it is, but it could be part of the Real Housewives.
I know, she's hardly one. It's weird. Dolly's a weird one.
I'm going to go into the Illuminati news, as we still have over 1,000 people. We haven't crushed through 1,000 people in a long time, so I'm very happy about that. So please smash that like button to remind everybody. Let's get this video hyped and get it out there. I'm going to go into some Illuminati news, though, Illuminati news segment, where we're going to go over, there was a CNN blackout. Let me go to that clip real quick.
Welcome back, and we are back. There was a technical issue across Warner Brothers Discovery Channel.
So that's the clip. There was this blackout that happened at CNN. And these blackouts that are happening is connected to the full moon type of rituals as well. Some other stuff that's going on in the news is the toilet stuff. Oh, here we go. Let me pull this up real quick. CNN signal goes down for nearly 30 minutes. Sorry for the interruption. Okay, no,
I wonder. I'm just curious because in Florida, which is the lightning capital of the world, we constantly have legitimate blackouts all the time when there's like a lightning storm. And I think this is like a Michael Sarion thing that he said at one point, but that when a lightning storm knocks out your power, there's this unusual feeling of calmness that most of the time, even when everything's silent, you don't get. And that's because it like drops this like electromagnetic field that's, you know, entrancing you, or whatever the woo-woo and science of it is. But I wonder that when CNN goes down, since CNN, I think, is in a lot of airports, if someone were to measure like the calmness within airports while CNN was down for 30 minutes, or just like the amount of arrests or the amount of, you know, incidents across airports nationwide, I would guarantee there would be some sort of correlation between human behavior and CNN going down for a half hour.
No, that makes sense because of all the Wi-Fi, right? Everybody's calmed down from all the signals and all that. I was just covering the plasma, which lightning is this plasma. I'm trying to look up Leave the World Behind. Okay, here it is. I found it. Let me screenshot this. Just how it's connected to the eclipse. I was bringing up, we're talking about September blackouts, this death of Dolly Parton. Now I want to bring up something with the 9/5 and all this stuff going on, and then I'll get into the satanic stuff.
And also, we just went into Virgo season. Like, we just went into Virgo season. So, like, killing virgin symbology and doing this kind of merry ritual seems par for the course.
For sure. So here is the eclipse stuff, because Dolly Parton, Hayden Panettiere all died in this middle window of the eclipse energy, and the eclipse being connected to the CNN outage going on as well. Right here is Leave the World Behind. In Leave the World Behind, they showed the blackout EMP event happening on 9/17, on September 17th, which is connected to the Torah and also connected to America as well. And this is when the White House and major cities were attacked by rogue armed forces right here. Now, the eclipse was shown in the show Leave the World Behind, part of the 128 code and the connections to the moon sacrifice of Matthew Perry. And the predictive programming of eclipses with the EMP and the blackouts and the power going out is right here in 1 second after that Newt Gingrich told all of Congress to read, way before the Obamas put out this movie of Leave the World Behind, which is about the same type of event with the 5th generation warfare happening, or even The Economist magazine showing Trump as the eclipse, as he was born on the eclipse. And this issue was released for the 322 day of the year, November 18th. But this eclipse connection is right here. Let's see what I wrote on it. It's probably everything I just said. Yeah, it's pretty much everything I just said with it.
Well, for anyone that's also keeping track of dates that the world is supposed to end, be on the lookout in 4 days from now, because August 29th is in Terminator 2 when Skynet becomes self-aware and essentially the world falls from thereafter. So that's in 4 days from now.
Thank you so much for bringing that up. And now I believe that has been added in the occult calendar, correct?
In volume 2, yeah. So the biggest feedback that we got for occult calendar was more dates. There were some dates that didn't have anything. Now every single day of the entire year, 365 days, have at least one event. Some of them have up to like 7 or 8 different events. So there's like over 1,000 documented occult related events that have been like triple checked, quadruple checked in volume 2, which I think we're going to be dropping for this year, right? Hopefully we'll get some in time for like the Christmas season.
So yes, this is absolutely what we're going to be doing. We're releasing the new occult calendar, volume 2. There's only going to be 1,000 copies printed ever. And the last calendar was a huge success that went along with the Illuminati comic book. So it's been years since we released the occult calendar, and we've been working really hard on this, and it is absolutely awesome, and I'm excited to release that when it goes out. It's going to sell out immediately because it shows the ritualistic dates to look out for connected to the 128 code and the celebrity sacrifices. So we're going to have to add in this Dolly Parton thing into the calendar before we send it off to print. In Skynet right here, it says that it happened at 2:14 in the morning Eastern time.
214 code.
That's a 214 code. Isn't that February 14th? Isn't that Valentine's Day?
Yeah, and that's what Brittany Pickle Spears, she wrote something in the comment about the Dolly the sheep was on Valentine's Day as well.
Oh, snap. That's when the Dolly died, the sheep, on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So right here, Skynet system goes online August 4th. And then on August 29th at 2:14 Eastern time, it became sentient. It became sentient, right? Self-aware. Would that be sentient?
I'm sure.
You could what is it not? Like, you know, the AI.
So. Yeah, I think so. I mean, they're different words because they have different nuances to them. But I think for the most part, yeah, that's what we're talking about, is that it became self-aware so that it recognized itself. It's like when you have the intelligence tests with animals where you put them in front of a mirror. If they recognize that they're seeing themselves in the mirror, that actually establishes a level of intelligence beyond just, you know, the normal. That's kind of the type of self-aware or intelligence, although AI can't see itself in a mirror, so it's really hard to determine like what their version of a mirror test would be.
It's also metacognition, correct?
Yeah.
Me and the boys thinking about thinking. So yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, so that's pretty nuts. Let's see what other kind of video stuff that's coming up. This eclipse that's approaching on the 27th will be at midnight Eastern time, but it will be around 9 p.m., 2 hours after sunset Pacific time. Now, this could be straight connected to some Golden Gate Bridge rituals. What I think is going to be happening, as clearly documented and predicted, the celebrity sacrifice season. My next big predictions for the rest of the year would be North Korea being big in the news system, Kim Jong-un, Rocket Man, and they're going to launch a torpedo towards the Golden Gate Bridge. I don't think it will hit it, but that will be in the news, and it'll go into some more control system in the abyss of the ocean. So that's one of the big things I'm looking out for, but it is straight connected to the Golden Gate Bridge. The Golden Gate Bridge is hated by Hollywood. Hollywood shows the predictive programming of it collapsing, and we just saw George Soros and Alex Soros making an eclipse in this picture that went viral on the 128 code. So they're straight connected to the economy, rituals as well. Something to look into and connect, because I do think that these celebrity sacrifices are connected to the economy as well. Marshall McLuhan talked about the early distant warning system of the arts, of the artist. We just saw this new film, The Odyssey 2026, which is big for Western civilization. So when it's being manipulated even a little bit, this is how people will portray what that is all about, that movie, that story, and all this through the art. So it has a trickle-down effect into the consciousness of the masses. So when these celebrities or commercials or music videos or movies show something in the collective consciousness, it is preparing them for future technologies, like Skynet movie with the Terminator, or the Matrix film. The Matrix film was released right before 9/11, and on the passport of Neo, which is an anagram for one, it expired his passport on 9/11. So these are early distant warning systems. Some call it predictive programming, hypnosis call it priming. In the spiritual sense, it is the revelation of the method as well. So there's a lot of different ways to explain what's going on in the ethos when it comes to everybody staring at their blue digital light, right? The blue screen of death, the cell phones, all this, the algorithm is pushing everybody into a digital silo to look at what it has chosen, right? You don't get to choose your own adventure. It's not a choose your own adventure book when you're online. Doom scrolling, which is erasing the memories, able to have memories from the fragmentation of all the different rolls and clicks and scrolling, and all of this is fragmenting the minds of the masses into different digital silos. And this is why people have fragmented memories, and also maybe why Mandela effect is also pushed so heavily into the algorithm. And also, I do think that the Mandela effect thing is an interesting thing, and I think it is happening, especially with the Joel Osteen thing being Joel Osteen, or Britney Spears wearing the skirts and stuff like that, and the colors changing, or whatever it is. Nelson Mandela, I thought that fool passed away, and he didn't pass away. And so a lot of strange stuff. And even the Tiananmen Square, the Tank Man, as well.
Well, a couple notes on that too is that, first of all, I think that we're really onto something with the death of the 9 to 5, because first Skynet becomes aware, and then you've got the death of the 9 to 5, and then what else, which is kind of really what's happening right now in the world, is the death of what we used to know as this 9 to 5 sort of role. And on top of that, what was the 9 to 9/5, the 5th of November? Like, never, that was the original Never Forget, right? Remember the 5th of November? Wasn't that the Guy Fawkes plot, or am I mixing that up with a different month?
No, it was.
No, you're totally right.
And if you're not familiar with this, beyond the movie, which was based on a comic book, V for Vendetta, but 5th of November happened during the time when they were creating the King James Bible, and there was a lot of sort of uncertainty of whether or not the King James Bible was going to be accepted, because the Vatican had just put out their own Catholic Bible. There were already other options, and King James was trying to do something pretty significant between the Protestants and the Presbyterians in creating this King James Bible. And this particular gunpowder plot with Guy Fawkes, this basically united everyone with like, oh, well, you know, if these Catholic outsiders are trying to take out the King James Bible Committee, then they must have something to it. And that kind of allowed the conspiracy here was that if the people putting together King James Bible didn't necessarily help plot it, they knew about the plot ahead of time and let it develop so that it could turn into a thing that then got like busted up at the last second to garner public support, which is basically the definition of a false flag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, so November is 9, right? Novum 9,
Mm-hmm.
5, 9 to 5, November 5th. Remember November. And this is the day that Tupac released, after his death of his assassination, the Killuminati album, which exposed P. Diddy parties. And also Illuminati and Machiavelli. So I got to learn a lot about philosophy because of that album and the Illuminati. And also, this is the day the Travis Scott Astroworld happened on Kris Jenner's birthday. Yes, go ahead. Yes.
That's interesting.
This ritualistic stampede happened with Travis Scott in Astroworld while the Jenners, the Kardashian clan, was watching it happen on Kris Jenner's birthday. So it's something with the satanic elements of the birthday and the rituals seems to be connected, because I'm going to get into some of the satanic news. The guy that's famous for drawing the Happy Merchant, I don't know if you know about the Happy Merchant.
Did you also see that 2026 hurricane season? There's a Hurricane Dolly is the fourth one, as the D.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Before we get...
sound good for us.
Hurricane Dolly. Oh,
yeah,
snap.
put in Hurricane 2026 hurricane names. Or
now I'm learning a lot about hurricanes because Hawaii got hit with a Cat 1. And I guess that's the weakest of the hurricanes. And then the bigger the cats get, the more dangerous.
Holy shit, 4 hours ago, Tropical Storm Dolly could develop this week.
That's crazy.
That
insane.
is crazy.
That's insane. Okay, so let's get right into this. Tropical Storm Dolly developing now as Dolly dies. Tropical Storm Dolly could develop this week. Odds rise for a system nearest Florida. Now, Florida is the Holy Land.
And the previous Dolly Land. Wouldn't that be crazy if Hurricane Dolly hit Dolly Land?
Yeah, I'll read some more about it. The NHC tracking 2 tropical waves in the Atlantic. Tropical Storm Dolly, next name on list.
Is Tropical Storm Dolly on the 36th parallel?
Well, it says that something about Bermuda. Let me look. That's an interesting thing. Right here it says 96. I don't know what that means. You guys know about hurricanes. I don't know shit about hurricanes.
That's a low, but if you kind of scroll over, it looks like it started kind of on Bermuda or like where they track it to go, but I bet you it's right on the 36th parallel now if you were to...
Let me grok it. I'm going to grok the AI. I'm going to ask it a few
But I
questions.
think the 95, I think that means it's a low pressure system right now without a name, but they're predicting that it will be named.
On the 36th parallel, August 25th, 2026, was it named after Dolly Parton, who just died August 25th, 2026? Any other questions to ask the super AI?
Well, I don't think this one, it could have been named after Dolly Parton, because the way that they do it is they create alphabetically. So there was already 3 named storms. So it was Arthur, Bertha, Cristobal, and Dolly. And you also notice that they usually alternate the genders back when there used to be 2. So it would be like boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. So Dolly was, there's an actual interesting coincidence that the very next tropical storm was Dolly at the same time that, you know, she dies.
And they do it the year before, and it used to just all be girls until I think that people were like, that's not fair. And then they started making them boy, girl, boy, girl.
Wow. I mean, that is some crazy stuff that Dolly and then Dolly dies today. It's not answering my question. Is it on the 36 parallel?
Well, it's going to move, right? Because it's a weather pattern.
Yeah, I just meant to like when she died. Is it
Like it's
there?
not going to know at this moment, I don't think.
I thought it was smart.
If you look at where Hurricane Dolly is, it's kind of similar to the path that there was a hurricane offshore on 9/11 that was like some people theorize of energy weapons that day and where they might get said energy from. There was a hurricane right offshore of like right there on that exact path is where what the hurricane was doing on
Well,
Nov 11.
And this is pretty unique because the last time there was any sort of a storm named Dolly was in like the 1940s.
do you remember anything about it? I'm pulling it up.
The 1940s one, it was like a typhoon, and it wasn't in the Atlantic. This one was in the Pacific. But just noting that makes the fact that this storm was going to be named Dolly all the more unique, because
Rare,
Dolly's
yeah.
not going to come up on the list for maybe another 80 to 100 years.
That's so weird how Dolly Parton dies and now there's this Dolly storm. Oh, look, the New York Times is on it. They must be watching us right now. I mean, they steal all my proof information.
And then they charge you to look at it.
Yeah, I can't even look at it. The next tropical storm will share Dolly Parton's name. Coincidentally, within days of Dolly Parton's death. Now, this is another weird thing. I asked the AI about Dolly Parton's death, and it said that she didn't die. Right here, I said, Dolly Parton died before the eclipse. Tell me about the strange occult connections to her and her death. And it worked for 3 seconds. And it said, Dolly Parton is alive. She has not died. So
It's they'll have a cutoff that's usually at least a few months old.
yeah, the AI is also just taking from sources of the internet. And we get the stupid AI. We don't get the real data, the real data.
We don't get the actual Skynet.
No. And look, we got some super chats. I'm going to go to the super chats right now and feed that kitty cat. Thank you so much, Rachel and Nafzinger 7388 with the $2 super chat. We feed that kitty cat. She says, "Ding dong, tell us about it, DoeNut." Thank you so much for the super chat. We got 100 joules with a high five from Mandela K2B. High five. Thank you so much for the 100 joules. The $2 super chat from Chico Beans 315 says, was the Travis Scott concert, was that a ritual? It was absolutely a ritual. He was wearing a freaking Pearl Jam t-shirt while this ritual was going on in the music video he released for the concert, and Pearl Jam also had the same thing happen. Exile the Knights of Malta, meow. $10 super chat, thank you so much, says, keep up the good work, cats, and we will keep up the good work, and we keep on feeding that kitty cat. Thank you so much for the super chats. Let's go to the comment section. I know y'all probably have found some wild stuff. Let's go to that. We got Coffee Girl up in here. Shout out to Coffee Girl. No name, no number, says Dolly Storm year. She's born in year they fake her death. Meow.
Yeah, because 1946 is the Dolly typhoon. And that's the year she's born.
Are you kidding? Wow, that's another wild one. That one, I bet you the New York Times is going to have that one.
So explain this to us, because I'm ignorant when it comes to the storms and all this stuff.
1940s. Yeah, go ahead, Dom.
Go
Go ahead.
You've got more info on it.
On June 17th, Typhoon Dolly formed. It moved northward only to strengthen after passing by the Philippines, and that was in 1946. So that is the same year that Dolly Parton was born.
Oh, wow.
So Dolly Parton was born the same year that there was a Dolly storm, and she died the same year there was a Dolly storm. And storms only get named if they get big enough to qualify for a name, because up until then they're basically just like numbered.
But I will say, looking at hurricane dollies and tropical storm dollies, like it seems like if you're a dolly, there's a high opportunity for you to become a full storm, because there is the list of them, it's like 1953, 1954, 1968, 1974, and then it tells you what happened to all of them. So I would actually, if she's born in like on the first one and dies on the last one, I would be curious what was up all these other years with Dolly Parton.
That is freaking weird. That is so strange. Dolly Parton was born during the Dolly storm and died on the Dolly storm. That's crazy. I'm going to clip that. It's going to get 1 million views. Just like our other videos that we do. Whenever we do a video, we clip it. It triggers everyone. Everyone freaks out. They're like, oh my gosh. Dalai Lama, right? I wonder if there's going to be a tongue licking ritual with the Dalai Lama. Dan Brown book
Well,
cover.
it's funny that so this typhoon is a Chinese typhoon, the 1946 one. So the Dalai Lama is China owns the reincarnate of the Dalai Lama. Like they have rights to the reincarnate. So they just say whoever they want to say it is. And they, from here on out in history, China, the government of China will also own the deity of the Dalai Lama. Not that they don't already.
I want to point out a big mistake I made yesterday. I'm covering the Dan Brown book and connecting it to these rituals that are going on. And on the cover, it shows the book from Prague, the clock there, the astrological window. And I got some of the signs wrong, but right here, it's Saturn and the moon. And I got it wrong, and this guy corrected me, Dickie Holmes. Thank you so much. The Dan Brown book cover has the sun in Taurus, and also Saturn is in Cancer. I knew yesterday I said it was in Leo, the sun, and Pisces, but that's Cancer and Taurus. So I'm gonna re-look into this stuff.
You must have had some mercury in your Gatorade.
You know, I had a little too much mercury in the Gatorade. And also, I was asking the AI and stuff like that, too. So the AI be lying and moving me into the wrong direction. That's why it's important to read these books. I just got a new book in the mail today, which I'm excited about, called Occult Horizons, which actually goes into the psi capabilities, I believe, of the AI. So I'm excited to read about that. Also, I heard that the first chapter of it goes into the psi abilities of the plants. Now, I've been kind of playing with this idea. If you could talk to plants, right? If you have an intention to kill the plant, it knows that, right? Even if you're far away from it. And people play classical music to the plants, it's shown to work, as there's this whole connection to the plants communicating and all this. But then I was thinking about the microbiome of society, or even myself. You know how people can talk to plants? Could they also talk to bacteria on the body? What's your
Have you ever heard of the book, The Secret Life of Plants?
Yes.
It was big in like the 70s. And then there was the Stevie Wonder album that was the journey through The Secret Life of Plants, which was like music based on the book, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So there was a small moment in time when people were getting really interested in this idea, but I think it kind of died out, except for people that are really big in the horticulture.
And also Clive Baxter did these experiments on the plants where you hook them up to lie detector tests.
Yeah, plants be lying out there, bro.
They be lying all the time. And then people take certain plants and see the green man.
Or the green lady.
Really?
Yeah.
Lady Ayahuasca.
Speaking of Miley Cyrus, a lot of people don't remember that Miley Cyrus is the one that made Salvia divinorum illegal. And Salvia divinorum has its own entity, which is the green woman, Ska Pastora, Lady Pastora, the female shepherdess.
Continue.
We can go on and on and on this one, yeah.
No, that's
so, like,
interesting.
The same way that people repeat seeing like DMT entities, right? That there's these like specific entities that you see. One, salvia, the actual original name from the Mazatec Indians, which is just inside Awaka, that they report seeing this lady's salvia, and it's the purple one is the Salvia divinorum. But Scott Pastora is this gatekeeper, so that once you go into this Salvia world, or I'll call it Dolly world just for now, but once you go into Dolly world, this lady greets you at a huge door, and she decides whether you're worthy or not to enter that door. And no matter, you know, what you want to do, only she gets to let you through that door or not. And this is one of these really strange recurring themes that people across cultures and decades and age groups and everything, even like language barriers, reports this exact same scenario over and over again, even if you didn't hear it to begin with.
Right. Just like the machine elves.
This is exactly like the machine elves, except in Salvia, Lady Pastora, the Mary, I think she's been equated to Mary the Shepherdess as well. So like this Mary figure in the Salvia world is almost on like a hierarchy above the DMT elves. Imagine if the DMT elves, if this was like the movie Labyrinth, like she's David Bowie, right? Like all the gremlins and the little DMT entities live in the castle, but she's the one that actually runs the castle. And you're looking at red, but it's Salvia Divinorum is a very specific type of salvia. It's not red, it's purple. So the Salvia Divinorum, Scott Pastora, that's the Lady Shepherdess.
Wow. Wow. Yeah,
and I wanted to say this earlier because you were mentioning how Miley Cyrus was this connection between the country music industry, and she was sort of anointed by Dolly Parton, and Miley Cyrus is directly responsible for getting Salvia Divinorum made illegal in almost all 50 states, because that was, aside from the Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction at the Super Bowl, the other big thing were salvia videos. And there was one video with Miley Cyrus talking about, or like, you know, holding a bong full of Salvia Divinorum. And not only did that kind of tank her career a little bit, but that put it on the map of all of these parents that were obsessed with, you know, their kids growing up in Disney. And now Salvia was on their radar as well.
Wow. And I was just showing the pictures of Dolly Parton and Miley Cyrus in their chessboard attire as well. And Miley Cyrus, I'm going to look for this salvia thing. I did not know that. Wow. Interesting stuff. Divinium.
This was like 2006, 2007, I want to say.
That's nuts. Yeah, I mean,
I think it was legal at the time, but that was only because it was so under the radar.
You know, one thing I want to point out is this the satanic stuff, right? And how we have Lil Nas X, who did a song with Miley Cyrus's dad, right? That made hip hop connection to the Old Town Road. You know what I'm saying? The Old Town Road music video during the lockdown. So everyone was locked down. This was going viral around the aroused genitalia and all this. But that's Miley Cyrus's dad, who did the Old Town Road with Satanic Lil Nas X. And look, they're looking into the butthole. Right there. They're both looking into it.
They're checking for the anal print.
They're scanning the anal.
They're scanning their anal print. Yeah.
It's absolutely nuts.
That actually means that we are the ones inside of the butthole, though.
Oh, man.
They're looking at us through it.
As above, so below. That's nuts. So this, I want to go into the satanic elements because Lil Nas X, sure, he's got deals with Doritos, and also the conscious rapper Nas took the deal as well with Doritos, and working with Lil Nas X, showing a lot of symbolism during the lockdowns, very strange stuff. But this is connected to the Cyruses. The satanic element of the guy who drew the Happy Merchant, that's super famous. I'm not sure if you've ever seen it, but it's a very famous meme. And he died too, just recently. And he was filming movies with Anton LaVey of the Satanic Church. So he was connected to the satanic movement. Right here. The Happy Merchant creator worked on movies with Anton LaVey in something called the death scenes as well. Do you know about the death scenes?
I'm not familiar with the death scenes.
I wasn't either. But the satanic connection to these socialists, like Alfonsi Louis Constant, who's Alephus Levi, who created the Baphomet symbol, he's also connected to the socialists and all of his satanic friends. So that goes into a lot of the Jordan Maxwell research of the world communism, fascism takeover of the world.
That old thing.
That's the satanic connection. I'm going to look into, shout out to Pineal Power Podcast. I'm looking at the comments because y'all finding some wild stuff. I bought some media and t-shirts from Paranoid American website so I could become wicked smart. Yeah, you can go buy that stuff down below for sure.
Your IQ is guaranteed to at least go up or down by 10 points by purchasing something from Paranoid American. I can't tell you if it's going to go up or down. That's entirely on you.
As above, so below. So I'm looking through this. There's a couple of different places I got to look for information. Maybe I'll go to a clip of the Memphis curse of what I was talking about with Dolly Parton and Miley Cyrus. I'll go to that clip while I scroll through these comments to see what y'all have found.
What up? It's DoeNut, and you tuning into all your Illuminati news. Memphis Moon Rituals. Gangsta Boo just passed away, and I believe this is connected to New Year's rituals, as she died on the 1st, January 1st. January's for Janice, the doorway, as we are entering 2023, a Skull and Bones year, 322 year. And it's got that 23.
Oh yeah, so like somebody brought up these deaths come in 3. Do you remember the sacrifice that went down with Hulk Hogan? How there was 3 deaths, famous deaths with that?
What were the other 2?
I'll pull it up right now, but these deaths do come in 3s. So let's
You were saying also in the gematria 77 kept coming up, and I think we're on this 77 loop. Like the wow signal comes out in 77, and now we're on this alien disclosure. Hulk Hogan is introduced in 1977, then he dies recently. So it's just like all the things. I think Son of Sam is 77. Blackout in New York is 77. Snow in Miami is 77. I don't, but there's like a whole bunch of things that I wonder sometimes those with gematria, sometimes those numbers, if they link up to years as well.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Elvis dies in 77.
My head goes to the 7/7 bombings, which was like the UK 9/11.
Huh.
So
You familiar with that one?
This image right here.
Is that Ariana Grande concert?
No, that was the Manchester.
What date was that on?
That was on
9/9. Nov.
I forget what day it was on, but 1017 people were injured on that concert. I think it was in March. I would say, let me look it up. But before I look it up, I'll show you the 3 things. How the deaths come in the 3s. It was Hulk Hogan, Ozzy Osbourne, and this guy that drowned.
Malcolm Jamal Warner.
And if you add up their like how old they were, it equaled 201, and there was this huge connection to all of that. But let me look up the date of the Ariana Grande Manchester event, because Ariana Grande came out right before the eclipse rituals, and this was the big celebrity sacrifice, wearing the blood red in her Petals music video. At the same time, Perez Hilton was drenched in the baptism of the blood, while the new Carrie show is coming out where she's drenched in the pig blood as well. And so this was sort of the warming up the collective consciousness for chaos to birth the new Moonchild baby. I'd be interested to see what kind of baby gets born for this Moonchild eclipse ritual.
And Ariana Grande is always, it always makes me think tall whites. Right before, right at the same time, she's like skinny and they're mocking her. Donald Trump comes out with the tall whites picture where it's like him standing.
So that happened on May 22nd, the Manchester event, killed 22 people. The concert that Ariana Grande was performing at during these eclipses, she's dancing next to a very heavyset white woman, right? So there might be a connection to that too. So I keep playing this old video if y'all want to keep watching it. I don't know. I don't really like to watch old videos because I got a lot of good connections, but also, people's minds.
I like the visuals because, again, you just had another picture of Miley Cyrus on there, and the connection between Miley Cyrus and country and like rap or just, like newer modern music. Dolly Parton was also part of that same sort of trajectory, right? Just like Dolly Parton, that Miley Cyrus's dad was, that all of them represent this merging between the different genres and different demographics of listeners into like one big mainstream. So a lot of them are sort of the ones that are pulling everyone towards, like, if there's not a one world, new world order, like one world government, one world religion, I think it would serve that there would need to be one world sort of like music genre, right? Like we all listen to country, hip hop, classical, bebop or something.
Mm-hmm. And like all the connections to Hannah Montana with the Migos, the guy freaking was assassinated at 203, I believe, and that was the name of the last song or something on their album was 203. Yeah, so that's what I was connecting.
And the amount of Chicago Bulls, it's in my opinion, because this is the fire goat year, so we have this horse sacrifice. And next year's the fire goat. So anyone that they've called the greatest of all time, it's just curious to me that she's all in Michael Jordan stuff, because I would put him up there as the sports GOAT. And they have LeBron playing one more year because they're going to take all the records. So that alleviates the GOATs. And that is one form of sacrifice. But I also think Michael Jordan is the GOAT when it comes to sports. So the fact that Hannah Montana's and all that stuff, or Miley Cyrus the Great is in all that bull representation with 23 on it, is curious to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not like Michael Jordan was of her reign of being her great. She's younger, so her being in that is curious.
Yeah. So I'm just going through the comments right now to see what y'all put up in here. I could also go down to my Twitter to see what people have posted. So y'all feel free to talk about whatever you want to talk about, or if you see anything that has pulled up on your end, because people be posting stuff as we just started going live an hour after this happened. So if you're just tuning in, we're now going through the comment section and looking at what other people have found. I'm getting a lot of Dalai Lama comments. Dalai Lama,
not a sheep. And I just learned today too that there was 6 other sheeps during that whole time. Like when they cloned Dolly, they had 6 lambs. Dolly was just one of them. There was Bonnie, twins named Sally and Rosie, and triplets Lucy, Darcy, and Cotton. And she was named after Dolly Parton, which I did not know that. I was today years old.
I was today years old.
I was today years old. But Rosie O'Donnell, also Rosie, she is taking over for Kimmel of lately, and she's been dressing like Elvis. Like she's been dressing very like Nashville, Memphis looking. Like it's very specific, her attire that she's been up to.
That's crazy. Of course, she's going to take over for Kimmel.
Have we already gone to her imagination library?
Oh, Bonnie Tyler died as well. Total eclipse of the
Just now?
heart. No, well, she died before for the total eclipse of the heart. The last eclipse was Bonnie Tyler. Gone Grey Wolf wrote it in the chat. No, Bonnie Tyler died as well. And remember, like the last eclipse, we were like, Bonnie Tyler dies in her songs, total eclipse of the heart. So it's the same as the Heroes eclipse that is everywhere. And Bonnie was.
Look, it's the top song that she has when you look her up. It's the top thing, the total eclipse of
And
the
look
heart.
at Holding Out for a Hero is the next one.
Oh, weird. Because
Wow.
the Heroes has the eclipse. So please go over this for it, because I don't know who this is or what this ritual was, but it just happened last month.
So she sang the song that came out, Total Eclipse of the Heart. I wish I knew the words better, but like, start me and I'll sing it for you, and then it'll remind you. You know that total eclipse of the heart. Yeah. But so because you were just also pulling up Hayden Panettiere and the eclipse for this eclipse happening over and over again with the Heroes, and then Bonnie was a name of one of the other sheeps that we were just talking about for Dolly the sheep, and then somebody said, no, Bonnie just died at the last eclipse. Gone Grey Wolf said it. And so it's just kind of crazy.
Can I just say, every now and then I get a little bit lonely.
Who's that?
That's
That's
Bonnie
Total
Tyler.
Eclipse of the
Turn around, bright eyes.
That's a girl singing? I thought that was a dude.
Because you're thinking
now
of
and
the
then I
one
fall
from the Will Ferrell.
Every
movie,
fucking
I
now
think.
and then I'm.
Yeah, that's called the Dan Band. The Dan Band is the version that you probably hear in your head, but they were singing the Bonnie Tyler song.
This is absolutely incredible. I did not know this, because Bonnie Tyler, Total Eclipse of the Heart. She has this song. She also has a song called Heartache, all the heart sacrifice stuff during the eclipse on the pyramid.
From the Heartland.
From the Heartland. She's from the Heartland?
No, well, Dolly would be from the Heartland.
The Heartland sacrifice of Dolly. Damn. And her main song is the Total Eclipse of the Heart. All this eclipse stuff, and then the hero stuff and the eclipse. These are the eclipse rituals. That's nuts.
Yeah, the hero thing is pretty crazy.
It's all the Masons. That's where the Tyler's at.
DJ says DoeNut got a bunch of stuff on Lala too. I'll put in Discord. I haven't checked the Discord in a while. We do the Discord stuff for the Super Bowls and all that. I got to go back up in there.
What the hell is a Lala? Where am I so far behind? Don't even know all the platforms.
Yeah, I don't know what the Lala is either, but I'm excited to figure out what that is. That's insane. DJ shared the tropical storm next is Dolly as well. So we're going back into this. We are on the Gregorian calendar, but with people proving it seems a scene calendar is the most accurate.
Every now and then I fall, I turn around. It's still like playing in my head. Like the lyrics are slowly coming to me.
Dolly. I wonder if Dolly.
My autism always has a soundtrack.
Yeah, mine does too.
I don't always know all the words to said soundtrack, and then I just make them up.
Yeah, I got my soundtrack.
Dolly wants Taylor Swift's kids. Tear the face off Hillary. See, it's like that stuff starts happening in my head, and I'm like, keep it indoors.
So I'm just going through.
You don't get hired for children's birthdays anymore.
Not since I left Los Angeles.
Yeah, I'm just going through the comment section. What everybody's writing down.
You know one of those words puzzles where it's like it's like 5 boxes. It's word. Soros is one of the few names that is it onomatopoeia that goes forward and backward. Whatever. He has one of the few names that is the same forward and backward. so you could put his name in a puzzle. And I feel like there's other names that go in the cross section that is Soros in this square puzzle that I see in my brain. This is how I'm just going full autistic with you guys today.
Please
show you what I
do.
mean.
Yeah, no, I'm looking up the George Soros bridge thing that I posted. Twitter really be hiding a lot of stuff. Like I post and I search it and it doesn't
Well,
show
you also said the thing about the Obama movie. I think it's so interesting that you brought that up, that we're just coming out of Lion, like we're just coming out of Leo into Virgo, and the ship is the White Lion that hits that runs on land and leave the world behind. And also all the Iranian stuff that's in that movie, like all the flyers. And I think also this week, Barron Trump had like a $10 million bounty put on his head from Iran, supposedly.
I didn't know.
But that's very leave the world behind.
Is that open to anyone? Like we can do that too, or only Iranians?
I mean, I guess you could collect the bounty. I feel like it might be dangerous to say it.
I'd like to give a thank you to the super chat, $5 by CDCT6FC. Says great decodes on the illusion. Shout out to the illusion. I was watching his decode, and that's where I was connecting to Azrael.
Palindrome.
To it. Decoding with Cody. Shout out to Decoding with Cody and Franchot Blue. Good job, guys. Thank you so much for that super chat. Feed that kitty cat.
That's so cute.
He is the cutest. I love this freaking cat. Oh, man.
Did you have Chan with you in Hawaii?
No, I didn't.
Did you miss him so bad?
I didn't. No.
You didn't miss him.
Is that bad?
That you didn't miss him?
No,
but not a break from each other.
But yeah, we needed a break.
if you love something, let it go, right?
I do love.
He let DoeNut go. Chan had to let DoeNut go.
When I got back, he was so happy. We just been chill since I've been back from Hawaii, and we're doing these purring sessions where he'll purr, and I'll have my dolphin goggles on and the isolation tank, and he'll purr, and his vibrational frequency allows us to communicate with the plants, and it's pretty cool. Here is the George Soros Golden Gate Bridge 128 ritual. He posted this picture of his dad and Alex Soros eclipsing each other in a sense, because the sun and the moon, so George Soros would be the moon in this picture and he would be the sun. He posted this, I believe, on the eclipse. So there's like there's a connection there with the finances as well, I think. You know what I'm saying? Isn't it called like a Soros cycle too, or something like that with the moon? I don't know. So what do you guys what have you guys been up to? How what's going on with y'all? We've been going for over almost 2 hours. I got an hour of energy, I could say, but now we're over the 2 hour mark, so I'm just gonna kick it right now.
Well, I just came off of a high doing Under the Docks episode on the Titanic, which is probably one of my other all-time favorite conspiracy theories. And every single time I go back to it, there's like more and more layers that you can sort of unpeel from the Titanic.
So the Titanic cracked in half and snapped at 218, which is part of the 128 code. But
look at that.
Yeah, so what did you find? I mean, it's my favorite horror movie.
Well, there was a guy named like Fat Pat or Fat Patty that for the longest time he would go to all of these pubs, and he had think it was in like Ireland, and he was claiming all the time that he had this insider information that the Titanic actually exploded. There was an explosion in the hull that blew it outward, and he was talking about this for decades before they actually found the wreckage of the Titanic. And when they pulled the Titanic up, sure enough, what he had been saying that sounded crazy for this whole time was that it looked like something on the inside blew the metal like fragments outward. So there was some sort of an explosion. And I'll just skip right to the weirdest and most interesting Titanic theory. And that's that they were trying to fund the Federal Reserve. So they had a whole bunch of like gold cars and gold picture frames and gold bedposts, and that they were actually melting all of these golden items down into gold bricks on the Titanic. And that explains why one of the engine rooms was on fire for multiple days, and why they had to bring it out into the coldest waters possible. It was the only way to sort of covertly smelt this amount of gold in international waters. Shout out to Jordan Maxwell, maritime law, that this was essentially all part of this plan. And then if you go a little bit deeper, this was all owned by JP Morgan, right? He owned the White Star Line. He built his own little booth on the Titanic. He canceled at the last second. All of his friends from the Jekyll Island Hunt Club, which by the way has a room called the Federal Reserve Room, because that's where they met to discuss Federal Reserve. All his homies call out at the last second. And then on top of that, JP Morgan also had a separate sort of like cruise ship that was just over the horizon, loaded with a whole bunch of life jackets and blankets and food for any sort of survivors that they wanted to pick up. And this was incredibly unique because at the time there was a coal strike and a coal shortage. So the ability and the price to even get coal onto your boat in order to bring it out anywhere was astronomically high. And there hasn't really been a great explanation of why he had this whole extra passenger ship loaded with all sorts of supplies out in the middle of nowhere in the middle of a coal shortage. So there are so many different levels onto the Titanic conspiracy beyond the standard. It was an insurance fraud. Like, yeah, it was an insurance fraud, but that was just, the tip of the iceberg.
No pun intended.
Well, you got the iceberg lettuce, right? That is exploding people's buttholes. So there's a connection.
Let's be crazy. That's mostly romaine, just for the record.
Romaine.
Never trust romaine.
More so than iceberg, but I think they're all suspect.
Shout out to Brittany Pickle Spears. Says Dolly the sheep died on 2/14, which is when the Super Bowl is next year. And the Super Bowl is 214 days before the next eclipse in Egypt on 8/2. That's nuts. Great connecting right there. I was looking at this Super Bowl symbol. If you look at these two symbols, there's a cognition. It's a double D for a double dose.
Like Dolly Parton.
Just like,
yeah, double D's. Good one.
She got the double D's. But this is the thing, is that these are cognition tests for memory, I believe, that people use. I don't know. And there's a big wave happening. I don't know. That's a good connection, and I'm going to look into that. Yeah, the Titanic was.
When's Chinese New Year start?
Chinese New Year starts on.
Yeah, I mean, I could do it too.
ChatGPT.
February 6th.
Okay.
That's the day the Illuminati founder was born, on February 6th.
Fire goat.
Fire, fire, fire.
Trump is the fire goat, no? Because he's known for being like the goat at firing people, so that would make him the fire goat.
Oh, fire! You're fired.
Yeah.
You're fired. Yeah, that is that would be top tier troll if that's what you got told last in hell. You're fired.
You're fired. Yeah, so I'm just going through the comments.
Doll Parton.
People are like, what's
there
going
it is.
on?
Yeah, Dolly's a man, of course. Why wouldn't she be?
Shout out to Maritha.
Big latex boobies.
She's in Arizona too. We wake a smart in Arizona, but not during the daytime because it's so hot that my brain does not function. Dolly's day is 11/19. Is there a Dolly's day? Dolly
I
Parton
feel
Day.
like that would make sense because has that much of an impact.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a
Wow.
national Dolly Day?
Yeah, official
Oh,
national
Tennessee.
Dolly Parton Day is the 119 code, which is 9/11.
Oh, January. Yeah.
He Choo pointed that it's also November 19th as well. And
So wow,
also
this was just announced this year too, because it said that Dolly Day was announced for her 80th birthday, and she died when she was 80. So Dolly Day was like a this year thing.
and it's the emergency code of 9/11, the 119. That's interesting.
Did you ever try dialing 119 to see what happens?
That's interesting. What happens?
I don't know.
Let's do it. Let's do it right now.
The cops just immediately show up.
Yeah, I'm just okay. I'm not going to do that.
You just swatted yourself.
Okay,
Somebody
so
in
yeah,
chat said Dolly's last song, World on Fire, to like pull it up. I think it's so interesting, especially Kanye and all his last performances dancing around on the world. And then Dolly's like sitting on the globe on fire.
I'm going to go over to Twitter right now and see anything new that people have been posting, because this post got over 100 likes. People are sharing about the cheers to the god Azazel, Dolly Parton. That seems to be a big one. Dolly Parton photographed July 27th in the Grand Masonic Lodge.
Boom, boom, boom.
So I got this theory on, dang it, that's not what I was looking up. The people that photograph these celebrities, like Janis Joplin, for example. Janis Joplin was photographed by this famous photographer who photographed a lot of album covers. And he was the one who took the picture of Marilyn Monroe's death. He was the first one to take those pictures that we all see. He also photographed Janis Joplin Pearl picture. And after which is on her cover, and after they took the picture, she died and joined the 27 Club. He also took the picture of the Rolling Stones band album cover of The Toilet. So a lot of these photographs are connected, I think, with the photographer telling the story of what's going on. But this photograph was taken in 2006 or 7. Interesting photograph, because she's not allowed to be there, and that's a men only club. So kind of strange.
1 week, the half mast is we're lowering the flag starting at 6 p.m. For a week for Dolly. It's weird.
What does that mean? Oh, they're going to have the flag half mast for an entire week?
Yeah.
Right through the eclipse, right?
Oh, probably. Yeah. Starting tonight. So an hour ago, for a whole week. It's just crazy to me for a pop star.
They say that she's part of the Red Shoe Club.
I'm sure she had a color of every, like shoes of every single color too, though. No.
Yeah.
So red shoe club, like the Podesta Red Shoe Club.
Yeah, this one's might be an interesting thread right here. She posted this picture. I ain't dead yet. 322 days later, she died. That's freaking crazy. Shout out to the Elite Coalition. Let me pull this one up. Let me save this image. She posted, I ain't dead yet, and then 322 days later, she freaking dies.
And that Miley Cyrus has a new album coming out. And it's Miley Cyrus, new era, new album coming soon. And the whole entire sky turns red. I have a video of it.
That's interesting. Miley Cyrus new album. Google Miley Cyrus new album. Love Story. Is that the one you're talking about?
I don't know.
Miley Cyrus got a new 10th studio album.
Coming soon. Just August 25th being the date that she was going to release her album is wild.
It
Why?
would make
Oh,
sense
'cause
to pivot back into country music now, right?
Miley Cyrus August 25th album. Coming soon. Okay, weird. Look at that eyeball. All right. I don't know why it's not pulling up. It's not pulling up, but I'm going to click this real quick. Oh, I don't know. It's an Instagram video. Mysterious album. Let me see if I could go to videos. This is one you're talking about, right?
Let me go back to this page. Yeah.
Okay. Let me
It's just short. It's just the whole sky turns red in New York. I'm like, oh, 7/7 code. Blackout New York. Son of Sam style.
okay, I got it right here. Son of Sam.
I know Son of Sam is also the serial killer, but also Son of Sam is like Son of America. And it is weird that Dolly, like Daughter of America, we were talking about her Americana earlier and being like the representation of that for America, and she's getting the flag at half-mast.
Oh my goodness. It's been 2 hours. We've been streaming for 2 hours. I gotta go pee. Let me see if I can find some more stuff on here. You guys are finding some really great stuff. Okay, this one went super viral. Let's see what's in these comment sections. The Dollywood stuff's weird with the butterflies. Well, I don't know. I think we got enough information on this
She's
episode.
monarch mind control.
Yeah, she's
A child prodigy. That's the first thing you read about Dolly Parton. She's a child prodigy. I'm like, oh, this is CIA all over.
We're on to you, Dolly.
Good try, Dolly.
This has been a great edition of Totalitarian Tiptoe Tuesdays at 2 Dolly Parton edition with Project Chaney. Now go join the Secret Society of Good Guys. Click the link below and go watch them every Friday night. And also,
at midnight.
At midnight. That's the witching hour. I think the witching hour is at 3. Ooh, my Chan wants to come say hello. Come here. No, he doesn't want to say hello.
Okay, never mind.
Never mind, run.
We'll keep everybody updated. I think we got a lot of good information here. And the donutization of America is happening. Please smash that like button. Much love.
And
God bless you.